Now, we all love video games. We've all came together and played video games before. We played Fortnite back in 2017 and 18 in its prime. We've played a lot of interesting games that have brought us a lot of joy. And through some of those games, when we're not playing online, we play those story modes. And sometimes those story modes can be so captivating by the characters, the plot, and mainly the protagonists. Now, the protagonists in these stories can really shift if the story will be good or bad. Like, some protagonists can be like a brick wall and be not fun to play as. Others can be some of the most amazing experiences you will ever have picking up a controller and playing. Like, sometimes these protagonists can make this game the best game you've ever played. Now, there's plenty of games with okay protagonists, but great gameplay and, great stories and all that. But if you don't feel a connection to that main character, it's not going to hit the same. And I say all that to say this. These protagonists that I'm about to name are some of the greatest to ever be created, some of the most well written, some of the most relatable, some of the happiest, some of the funniest. They're just amazing. And I'm not trying to glaze or anything, but I got to start off with the GOAT, Arthur Morgan. Now, Arthur Morgan, when I played through Red Dead, Arthur Morgan was the reason I played the game. Like, Arthur, you ran everything through Arthur Morgan. You had to make everything with his hands. You had to eat food to keep him healthy. They made you really care about Arthur. They made you see his progression as a character. They made you see his, weight go down when he got sick. They made you see his relationship that he was trying to build back. How he learned that he can't have everything he would want because of his lifestyle. How he felt so loyal to a gang that wasn't exactly doing the best, how it was falling apart, how his leader, how his best friend Dutch Vanderlyn was slowly becoming more and more insane, and how Micah was driving that thing. And watching all of that just come together into the character that is Arthur Morgan was amazing. And some of Arthur's dialogues were just great. Sometimes Arthur made me laugh. When he died, I cried. I ain't no little bitch or nothing, but Arthur Morgan is possibly the greatest video game protagonist to ever do it. Don't get me wrong, John Marston, great character too, but it's just not Arthur Morgan. There's still people playing Red Dead to this day that still get teary-eyed up around the time that Arthur dies in the game. Just because you feel such a big and strong connection to his character. It's just not every day you see a protagonist like Arthur Morgan that graces the video game screens. And it's just amazing to play as him, see his journey, feel his story, feel the emotions that he can bring to the table. Feel how human he can be, even though he's a game character. When he realized he was sick and he realized he was gonna die, we was talking to the sister on the train, the nun, and he looked so human in that moment where he was scared of dying, and it was just, you feel connections to the characters in a moment like that, and you can't replace that at all. Arthur Morgan is possibly the greatest to ever do it. Arthur Morgan is up there with the best video game protagonists of all time, and I stamped it. Now, once again, hitting you with the character with a lot of development that has genuinely came a long way. Kratos from the God of War games. In the beginning, Kratos was just a normal soldier, and eventually, from my rough memory, he was having trouble defeating his enemies, so he was like, Ares, slay my enemies, and my life is yours. So eventually, he became a vessel for Ares, and And he was a rageful monster. He was pretty much like the fucking Hulk. He went through and killed all of the gods of Olympus for revenge. And Kratos was just so rageful. Everything he did, he was just always pissed off all the time. There was no point where I thought that he was calm. Even when he was fucking that woman in the bed where you were pressing the triangles and all of that, he was still mad. You see how much that bed was rocking? He split her shit open, guaranteed. I'm not even glazing or nothing, but come on, bro. Kratos is a character that you just never thought would see such a big flip in his character, because he's someone that came from a lot of loss. He lost his wife and daughter, and then his ashes were permanently etched onto his skin, which is why he's white. He was already white, which is why he's so light, pale. And in the God of War 4, the God of War game that wasn't Ragnarok, I think it was 4, you see a change in his character. He was more calm and quiet, and you're is this Kratos? And he was just progressively becoming more and more of a normal human being, if you see what I'm saying. With his son, he was so bad at interactions. He never called his son his real name. His son was becoming further and further away from him because of his actions and all of that. And Kratos was just learning how to be a father without a mom around for Atreus. He was just learning how to become a decent person again. And it's amazing to see such a strong, burly man like Kratos just like be so calm with demeanor and all that, but still be a strong fighter. And you must remember, during the entire God of War game with Atreus, guaranteed Kratos was holding back the entire time, just to, keep that same demeanor. Like with Kratos's Spartan rage, if he genuinely wanted to, I feel like he could have just finished each and every boss that he came across. Because Kratos back then, before God of War 4, was a different breed. And you don't understand like how strong he still is. He flipped all 9 realms at once. Like, that's an insane feat of strength. But he still tones it down because, he's, literally calming down. And you see him progress, become more and more human. You even see him smile. Like, that was like amazing to me when he actually smiled. Like, I love that. And he tried to break the cycle of killing gods, well, the gods killing their parents after they're born. He was just trying to tell Atreus that they won't end up like that and they will change. And it was just a beautiful character, man. I haven't played the games personally, but I have seen Corey Kenshin play them. And from my rough memory, it was just a wonderful ride watching Kratos and Atreus go on their journeys. And he's honestly really up there with like some of the greats like Arthur Morgan, Kratos. And it's just amazing to have such a fleshed out game character. Like, I couldn't see anyone else being through the God of War games but Kratos. And I know people often say that with things that are already made, but that's just real. Like, I can't see anyone else going from that rageful monster to such a calm, reasonable person. And it's just amazing. I love a game character like that, man. My final entry on this list is from a game I'm actually actively playing right now. And that game is the Ghost of Tsushima. And honestly, it's one of the most visually stunning games I've ever played. I love the combat system, and I love all of that. And one fun fact about me before I get into this character, I play all my games on the easiest difficulty. Like, I like to play my games and, like, cruise through them and have fun. But Ghost of Tsushima is still a little, a little difficult to me. Like, I like how it can still be a decent challenge. Anyways, Jin Sakai is one of my favorite characters ever made because you can see the complexity of his character. Like, in the beginning, Jin Sakai is a pure samurai, pure honor code, all of that, following the rules, because that's how he grew up. That's what Lord Shimura and his dad taught him, which is, I understand that. But as he sees what the Mongols are doing and how he needs to survive and what he needs to do to save his island, he realizes that other means will need to be taken to be able to save these people, and he has to start breaking his code. And you can initially see how that bothers him so much. Like, you can see how you literally on your first stealth kill, there was like this flashback of saying a samurai doesn't kill a man from behind. You look him in the eyes and kill him and all of that. And that's the exact opposite of what he's doing in that moment. And I find that so interesting because it shows that even though he doesn't want to do this, he feels like he has a duty to his people. Like, he needs to do this in order to save the island, which he totally does. If you bum rushed in like a samurai every time, you would die, and he understands that. So he chooses to be more tactical, chooses to be sneaky. He even starts using means that would dishonor everyone completely. And when from how far I've gotten in the game, when he first breaks out Lord Shimura from Castle Kaneda, I think, he was like, Jin, have you been like killing people, stabbing them in the back? And he was like, yes, uncle, but I did it to save you. And then his uncle's like, I know. And from what I've seen, I feel like his uncle genuinely hates the way that he's doing things. Like, he feels like he should do him as a samurai. But honestly, Jin's doing the right thing, in my humble opinion, because how will he save this island with going headfirst into everything? That's dumb. Stealth can be some of the best things for people in tactical situations at times, but I digress. Jin has to resort to means of killing people with bombs, sticky bombs, smoke bombs, blow darts, things that a samurai wouldn't usually do. A samurai is a head-on fighter most of the time, and Jin is becoming like somewhat of a hybrid fighter, fighting like a samurai, fighting like a ghost, fighting like stealthy, fighting with bombs, fighting with tricks, fighting with blow darts, poisoning people, doing what he must to survive and to help his home out, to save everyone, because he knows that the way Lord Shimura is doing it will not be, completing it properly. And I'm losing my train of thought now, so I'm gonna really wrap this one up. But Jin Sakai is a great character, honestly, and I'm gonna finish this game soon. And honestly, I love the way it's going. Like, it's so complex. You get to see so many other characters and how he tries to react to what they do. Like Lady Masako with the people that killed his village. He still wants to be trying to kind of reasonable and ask questions instead of just killing everyone. But it's just amazing to see such a fleshed out character, you know, just be able to control that character. And honestly, video games are a blessing to all of us, because a lot of times video games is probably what kept us sane. You know, come back home from a really bad day at school, play some games, do this, do that, just have fun. But thank y'all for watching this far. If y'all have watched this far, I appreciate it. Love all y'all. Trying to upload very regularly now. You know, the goal is 1,000 subs. You know, sometimes I get a little discouraged, feeling like YouTube might not work out, but you know, that's in the Lord's hands, and I'm gonna do what I can to make it work. Cause I feel like I could be really great at this if I just put my mind to it. I feel like I already amassed such a great community of people that actually like love my videos and come back every time to watch them. And I just want to make that community bigger and bigger, impact more and more people, and make more people's days, make them happy, make them laugh, let them feel like they're welcome somewhere. You know, like something I realized is that in my Discord there are people that like talk about things that interest them, and I love that, like art or anime fights or anything like that, and I love that. And but also join the Discord if you want to. It's very fun in there. I see you later on though. Bye. Oh, I'm tired.